Chris and Gunnar embrace competing. I think they've all gotten better, but I think it's hands down it was the best way to do it. And I see a talented player growing and growing and growing. But more than anything, he had to earn the respect of that room right over there, that locker room. I think it's why Coach Day took a lot of time going through all the summer workouts, a lot of things you guys don't see. It's not just practice one day or scrimmage and whatever your stats are. It's when we're rolling at 6 a.m., how are you in the locker room at 5:40 in the morning before that workout with your teammates? And what energy are you bringing as a leader? I think it's a great move by Gary. Everybody can say talent and you expect Justin to be the guy, but he had to earn that spot, and quite honestly, he has.
Is there any connection with how much the tight ends get used in the passing game or targeted, connected to just Justin and his feel for the game or his preferences as he's out there?
No, I think you're just going through just running plays and formations, attacking coverages, and certain times coverages, the tight end's going to be number 1 and 2 of progression. Sometimes it's 3 and 4, and it's the same play. So based on certain coverage, he can start as a primary target. He can start as the 3rd or 4th choice. So bottom line is we'll go through it, though. If you know he's going to be maybe target number 1 or number 2, you expect that to be a good player. So if he's not doing well, then you don't want him to be target number 1 or number 2. So, but at the same time, the progression can get to 3 and 4, so he's always got to be alive and got to be well. But I don't think has anything to do with Justin or who he sees or who he likes. It's really, we're a team that sometimes we run what we call specific plays, that no matter what the defense runs, we're running this play. And then sometimes they're exact to a specific defense that we're seeing. And based on that defense, we like that matchup. And maybe we can get a tight end matched up on a guy we like, we're going to go to that. Or we get an H, like last year, Paris, or now KJ matched up on a guy, or one of those young guys like Chris Olave matched up on a guy, we'll go with that guy. So sometimes there's specifics. If that's the case, then you're looking for the guy. The majority of our passing game, those concepts, and the quarterback's picking sides based on coverages and going 1 to 2. If that ball comes tight end's way, we're expecting him to catch the ball and get some yards after the catch.
Kevin, I know you guys haven't played any games or anything like that, so it just comes down to scrimmages, but how do you feel about the way you guys have executed in the red zone during camp?
And we struggled a little bit there last year, although we scored a lot of points, but we could have been a lot more efficient. I do think it'll be a little bit different because of Justin's running ability, which is as you get down there, that deep defender doesn't have to play deep. And a lot of guys actually start putting him almost man-to-man on the quarterback, and even though they can play their coverages, they can do that and get the box loaded up and make it difficult. Because to me, to be a really good red zone team, you got to run the ball. And when we do our practices, we don't tackle. So sometimes, to me, I don't know if the line of scrimmage is really the line of scrimmage. Did we move the pile or is it down? So we've worked that situation a lot. We've worked a lot in passing for the defense and offense, understand coverages and routes that we want to do and the coverages our defense wants to put in. We've worked it not every day, but almost every other day. It'll be interesting as the games unfold and it becomes live. And you add what I think is going to be a really solid pass game with a dynamic athlete at quarterback and the tight end ability to put some edges on the defense, and we'll see maybe where it goes. So we're a work in progress here, figuring out what our strengths are going to be. But we can make some improvements there. And I know it's been one of Coach Day's off-season deals is to really examine, as good as our offense was, how to be more efficient down there.
Do you go into a season about the idea of you may not be a team that runs the ball more than you throw it, but you can still be a physical team that passes the ball a lot. This team just looks like the identity is going to be a little different in terms of maybe leaning on the run a little more. And I know you guys haven't played, but you just look at the guys you have potentially starting on the offensive line. It just seems like you got a lot of talent there and a lot of big, powerful dudes. Like, is this going to be, in your mind, a team that is maybe a little more physical than it was last year and leans on teams in the run game the way we've seen it happen here in the past?
Yeah, I think you throw the combination with the back and then the tight end crowd. We lost some quality players, but those guys putting their hand down in the dirt are pretty good, and they got a little edge about them. And it'll be interesting as that box gets loaded, because they're still going to put one more. Do we have that identity to be that team that can, like you say, lean? I don't like the word lean as much as a team that can run off the football and smash them, and get after it a little bit. And the way preseason has went, the way Coach Day has structured those things, I like a lot of things I see with the potential to be a really solid running football team. And not because the quarterback can run, just the mindset. Randy Walker years ago, running football is an attitude, it's a mindset. And I think this crowd has a chance to be a much better running football team.
And especially when you go into a season with so many new people in places on offense, do you ever feel like this is what we can do now, and maybe have your eye on things you'd like to be able to do with the end of the year?
Again, and you guys, always analyze all the numbers, and you sit there and say, look at all the guys they lost. But this has been one of the best preseasons because we actually have some experience, but it's youthful. Mm-hmm. And a youthful guy is when quote, burned out with practice or thinks he has the routine down. Chris Olave's played a lot, but he's a young guy still learning how to play those tight ends. Luke's played the most. And Rashad, being an older guy, he's played defense. He played 260 some, maybe a little bit more than 300 some snaps last year. But Ruckert is a sponge wanting to grow and get better. That offensive line with Wyatt and Josh Myers, and Alabi has started, but he's been out. Jonah was a starter. Jackson Cameron, but this is new. Thayer's still a third-year guy. Josh Alabi hasn't played, so Josh Alabi has started. Thayer has started. Alabi has started. Jonah has started. Wyatt has started. Josh Myers is really good. So you got all those guys that are new guys, but you don't feel like they're rookies. And you think they understand where to go, and you think they understand how you want them to practice. So the educational side of what we want to do is not like every day, like you feel like you're at ground zero. You've got a young football team that has the energy and the youthfulness that they want to practice, but you also have some experience that you don't feel like you're in right field and you're always teaching. They understand. So it's one of the more unique. Dobbins, he's a third year. He's a third year guy, and he's one of the most prolific backs in our school history. But he's a third year guy. So it's kind of neat every day in practice. You feel like you're going out there with a lot of energy, but you got a lot of young guys that want to get after it, learn and grow. And it's been a fun preseason. Preseason is this tough, and everybody talks about the grind. Our guys are getting after it. We know when to kind of zero it in. It's been a lot of fun this preseason working with this crowd.
With Josh and Wyatt, is the third year kind of the ideal year for a lineman to kind of be?
Second or third just kind of takes the same. I think, and that's why I think those tight ends are the same deal, because you're really learning how to block and the pad level and how to do it, follow the techniques, all the thinking, all the schemes, all the fronts, and then how to be a really good football player. It takes a little bit of time. And sometimes by need, you're playing a freshman or the guy's really good. A lot of years it's year 2 and year 3. And we even got guys like I'm talking about the development of Jake Hausman, development of Gavin Cupp in year 4, development of Josh Alabi, who's played some in year 4 or 5. So it takes time. And in this day and age, when everybody wants it now, it's frustrating. It's portal, here I come. It's nice to see some of these guys at a great place, weather the storm, go through all the things that we can provide, and develop into being what I think are going to be really good football players.
And Ryan said something that's sort of interesting. You've sort of got you've got a certain number of guys who are on like the 3-year plan, and then guys who are kind of on the 5-year plan, and like they're coming around and it's becoming their time. And you've been at a lot of different places, every kind of level. What is it like to sort of see how a team comes together that way with it? You've got some young veterans and some old guys that haven't played very much, and it all sort of comes together.
And you say 3-year plan, meaning
well, sort of like a guy like JK who's already experienced, and he's a veteran even though he's only in the 3rd year.
Yep.
And some guys that may be in the 3rd year on offense or defense and say, this is a money year for me. If I have a great year, I'm gone. And you have the 5-year guys where it's like, this is my last chance, and sort of have that all kind of congeal. It's sort of, what's that like from a coach's perspective?
Well, and one, I think it's a credit to this place that some guys will weather and fight to be the 5-year guys. And like I say, I'm of all the guys I'm coaching right now, I'm probably as proud of Jake Hausman as anyone, because he's not played as much as maybe he should have or have wanted to play. But quite honestly, wasn't right now. He's ready. He's ready to play. He's going to play early. He's going to play for us. He's going to be a major contributor, offense and special teams. So to me, it's a credit to his family. It's a credit to his high school upbringing. Credit to him that he's a guy that will stick in there and work. And when you got an environment like this with so many resources, and if you'll come with your talent and you'll put it to the grindstone every day and work, you got a chance for great things to happen. So it's nice to see the 3rd-year guy that's hungry, wanting to have, quote, his money year, a big year. But it's nice to see those 4th-year and 5th-year guys weather the storm and experience the greatness of being a great college, or a heck of a college player at a great, great place.
It's good to have that mix of guys who are super talented, but then you've got some of those super mature guys too.
I think that's why to me this preseason's been kind of pretty special. It's everyday coaching, every day in that meeting room. It's not been boring. It's not been dull. You've got kids that are bringing energy, whether it be the 4th and 5th year guy that's hungry, or the 3rd year guy that really wants to experience the elite side of playing personally. And ultimately, it's not about him individually, it's about us as a group. Collectively, we lost a lot, but we bring a lot back, and it has a chance. If we can keep our chemistry and keep these guys tight and keep them growing, we have a chance to be a really good group.
Kevin, I know you've gotten a version of this question 10 times already, so I apologize. But in any offense, what needs to be in place for you to decide that we're going to take the tight ends and put them out in the slot sometimes and try to use some of those matchups? And do you have an offensive scheme here and personnel here that may lead you guys to try that?
Yeah, I don't think from a scheme-wise it's ever been an issue that they could not play out in space, because half the time when we're playing tight end, we're playing in space anyway, or 35, 40, 45% based on the game plan. So we're used to being a slot guy. So if there's two guys out there, we're used to being in a slot and we're used to being on the edge. Well, all that does is just doesn't change your offense. It just changes maybe some of the matchups. And you only do that because those guys are playing well. And they've earned the right to be out there. And when we first got here, we had Marcus Ball, who was a little dysfunctional when we first got here as far as just being as complete as he needed to be, even though he had played a lot. And we had young guys. Last year, we had two guys a little bit older, but still quite not there. So we've kind of played one. I think last year we played 120 snaps of 12 personnel. You know, we're playing the Michigan State up there at the end. There's some 12 and some things. So there's short yardage and going. So they've been out there some. If they get out there more, it's because they're performing, and Coach Day has confidence that they can do some things. And that being said, if the one tight end's out there, they can both be there. If one tight end flexes out, they can both flex out. And then from there, Coach Day can decide what concepts he feels fits in a passing deal. Him and Coach Yursich, we can decide in the run game, Coach Stud, Coach Alfred, myself, what we like in the run game. And we'll use those guys based on their ability to perform. To me, Jake Hausman, I've been talking a little bit about, has earned the right this year to play. But I'm really excited to see when he gets in those games early, because he's played some, but not enough, how he performs. And the more he's practiced well enough to earn the right to go play. Now, when you walk in the arena and when called upon, as he plays, you might see roles increase. You can easily see roles decrease. That's just based on performance.
Certainly, I mean, from here, it seems like with the depth you have at your position, it seems like there'd be a lot of opportunities for you guys to be in 12 personnel that could be advantageous.
Yeah, but you put you put Ruckert out there and say he's bigger, he can block. Well, now KJ Hill's blocking a little bit better in the perimeter too now, because, you know, why would KJ Hill not be out there? Well, we got a bigger guy blocking, so all of a sudden, you know, you see him and CJ Saunders go, because competition's a great thing, and that's the beauty of this team right now. There's some talented kids, there's some young kids, there's a lot of diversity, but there's a lot of positive energy, and guys are fighting to get on the field. And as we get in these early games, we're not going to try to be cute. We're not going to try to be, you know, some of these guys have just earned the right to play, whether it be one tight end, two tight ends, and Coach Day and myself, Coach Yursich, will kind of work through that these first couple weeks. And I don't think there's anything going to be radical. We'll just see how they perform.
And you're talking about Jake. I mean, is that going to be a challenge for you to try to get 4 tight ends into a game plan?
Well, and it's not in the game plan; it's just in the flow of the game.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just and because quite honestly, there's enough confidence that you know you want to do that. But we'll see. That doesn't mean they're all going to be on the field at one time.
Yeah.
Also, though, you don't want to be like a basketball team and you're rotating guys around. And guys sitting around getting cold. You want guys to get in rhythm. So there's a little bit of science, a little bit of art to it, and. At the same time, I've done this long. If I said this was going to happen, it never happens.
Yeah.
Hey, you're going to play the second drive. No, you're not. I mean, so there's no predictions.
Sports writers say that all the time.
But I'm excited about this group. It's hands down. I tell them this repeat, the best group of guys I've coached. And I'm talking the walk on now. I might have one kid here along the way, but just as a group, I walk in the room. I'm talking to men, and we're having some real conversations about how to play, how to live, you know, how to work, and it's a fun group. And it started a few years ago when this kid named Marcus Ball just balled into practicing hard. And everybody just watched. And it's kind of taken off. And we'll see how far it can go. And their talent will make them really good, better than that, getting to the high level. We'll see where it goes this year. But it's a fun group to coach, and we're having a ball.
Kevin, was there a sense, too, that y'all had to become a more proficient running team than compared to a year ago? Or is that just the way last year developed?
Yeah, and I don't know.
What's just sort of like, you know, from a coach's standpoint, is there more focus on getting the running game, so to speak, in gear on a more efficient basis? I don't know. I don't even know if that came up.
Yeah, no. Yes and no. I mean, we wanted to be efficient last year.
Yeah.
But sometimes, as it has, you know, we're doing some RPOs and the ball gets thrown a little bit, whatever.
Yeah.
Dwayne is a good runner, but we didn't want him to run a whole bunch. He wasn't a great runner. He's more of a throwing guy. As he got hot, you leaned on the passing game. You had those great receivers outside. Some of those linemen that played a lot were actually kind of pretty good pass blockers and a little bit better there maybe in the run game. Mm-hmm. I look at Wyatt and Josh Myers and Thayer, and I see some guys a little bit more flat-backed and I see a little bit different attitude with that deal. So I think we didn't want to get away from the running game. We weren't a bad running team, but that pass game got hot, got greased up, and it was still one of the best offenses in the country, and it was close except for one game. And this year, we're not going to go back, and no disrespect to coach, and just 3-yard and cloud at every play, but and run robust and 26 power and all that stuff.
Is there a sense y'all can be, I don't know, a more well-rounded offense than a year ago? Is that the sense you have? I mean, y'all set all kinds of records last year, so it's kind of stupid talking about that.
Yeah, and I don't know if well-rounded. I know we want to be the best offense that we can be.
Yeah.
And we got some guys, I'm telling you, we got some guys outside that can make some plays. I think that tight end group's really good. We've got one good back, and the depth is coming on the way to Mario, and so those guys are playing at running back. Quarterbacks, it's got a chance to be a good group. And right now, what's pretty fun is you can just feel in practice guys pulling for each other. Like I saw a touchdown pass the other day, and number one was the guy running down the field, celebrating with the receivers and the quarterback, and he didn't throw it. And you get that kind of chemistry going. It's pretty fun.
Oh, one quick thing. Jeremy looks like a different player almost now. I'm talking about physically. Last year he was an 18.
You've been watching tape?
No, I'm just looking at him sitting at the table. He may be, yeah. But I'm just saying, I mean, a kid makes a big change I would think, from a freshman to a sophomore from a physical standpoint.
No doubt.
Do you see that too in him, that there's...
Yeah, and again, a couple things. Again, I think you got two unique deals. Jake Hausman, same way. They were both highly rated guys.
Yeah.
And with the services, and you get rated high, with ratings come expectation. Yet they're playing they're basically playing wide receiver, blocking in the perimeter. They're playing left tackle. They have to block Rashawn Gary when the game's on the line, and Chase Winovich. That's, they have to block Chase Young and Bosa every day. That's who we've had to block. Coop every day. And that being said, you're playing left tackle and receiver. It takes a little bit of time. And I'm proud of because their families, what's going on? Why aren't you playing? And no respect, they have great parents. Their friends back home and all the Twitter, social media things going on. I appreciate Ruckert. Ruckert loves to practice now. And he don't mind coming and going through individual and going through our fundamentals and going inside drill, where a year ago he was a fish out of water.
Yeah.
And Jake Hausman came through the muck of the grind of being a guy to be a good player. And I just respect, those are two good kids that are battling to reach their expectations. And I have a lot of respect for both those guys, and they're going to have good years for us.
Thanks, man.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Oh, peace out. I dropped my tea, lost my lemon. I was so excited about that.